Call the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr Speaker, I want to start where the Deputy Prime Minister nearly left off, and that is the role of the Prime Minister in this vanity project. Mr Speaker, I'm an old-fashioned parliamentarian, and I think the role of the Prime Minister is to stand up in this Parliament and to state his views. I waited through the first reading of this legislation. I waited through the second reading of this legislation. I waited through the committee stages for John Key to get on his feet and to give his views. Mr Speaker, I was waiting for the Prime Minister to give his views as part of this debate, and what did I see? What did I see? He decided to contribute to this debate in this House by way of Twitter. He got the timing wrong. He got the timing wrong because he didn't anticipate solid energy, but he would not stand up on his hind legs in this Parliament and give his views. And Mr Speaker, for a Prime Minister of a country with a pet project, that shows to me a lack of commitment. No, I can't say that. A lack of commitment to a parliamentary democracy. Mr Speaker, I do want to make a few other points. And I think what many members don't realise, and John Key certainly doesn't realise, is this is a very serious matter for a lot of people. It's not just, shall we have 5 or 6 bottles of champagne with our dinner at the barbie at Hawaii? It's not something, shall we buy another Mercedes or another Porsche? It is a matter that is a symbol of New Zealand and important to a lot of people. I think, Twitter does make some pretty good contributions in the area, and the one that I saw yesterday, which likened changing the flag to getting a tattoo for an individual, is something which is pretty accurate. It's something which is a serious, long-lasting decision, and one around which the process should be good, and the timing is also important. Mr Speaker, over the last couple and the next few years, the government and communities around New Zealand are spending over $100 million commemorating the First World War. The symbol under which New Zealand soldiers fought and died was the New Zealand flag. Their representatives, the RSA, had some very strong views, one about the change, but in particular of the destruction or the possible destruction of that symbol during that period of commemoration. And Mr Speaker, those representatives of the RSAs around New Zealand were treated disgracefully by the Select Committee who were considering this bill. 10 minutes was given to the national organisation to be heard, 10 minutes only. And what happened over the 3 weeks of recess? 3 weeks of recess, Jackie Dean refused to call the committee together to hear the submissions and to give people more time to be heard. Jackie Dean, assisted by Alfred Naro, John O'Naylor and Chris Bishop, denied 747 people who had made application to be heard by the Select Committee, denied them their ability, Now Jackie Dean's trying to blame Louise Upston. Sorry, No, I don't think she was there on the day I was there. So we'll just leave it. The other ones were the nasty ones, but they were particularly nasty to the 747 mainly returned servicemen who used the Facebook page circulated by the RSA to put their submission in, well, yeah, the Labor Party helped develop it. That's right. And members opposite laugh at returned soldiers because they use Facebook to put in submissions. And they say, no, not via me, directly to the committee, Brett Hudson, directly to the committee, and they were not allowed to be heard, and those members made that decision. And that is a disgrace. It is an absolute disgrace that that member went on holiday for 3 weeks instead of sitting the Select Committee during the Select Committee sitting periods. Mr Speaker, I want to make a few other points. First of all, about the cross-party committee. I've said previously, the Labor Party, and I will take responsibility because I gave advice on the matter, made a mistake going into that process. We trusted the National Party when they said that they would be straightforward and above board. And, Mr Speaker, they weren't. Mr Speaker, there were about 3 tasks. One of them involved giving advice on the shape of the referendum. At the meeting which considered it, every single party other than the National Party said that there should be a yes-no vote before at their first referendum. Every single party who was present there was of that view, and that the shape of the referendum was, as recommended by the cross-party committee, was rejected by the National Party cabinet. And that's a disgrace. The committee put forward a group of people, a group of fine New Zealanders, as a suggested oversight group. And what happened? Some of the best people, or most of them got through, but a group of them were knocked out and replaced by National Party hacks. People like Julie Christie, who was responsible for the part of the program that spent $2,300 getting people to meetings. For every single person who got to a meeting, the part of Julie Christie was in charge of, $2,300 was spent to get each individual there. I do, Rod Drury, of course, was someone who, it's no secret, was agreed by the wider committee. The online campaign has been fantastic. The work of the chair has been, I think, highly ethical given the very difficult task that he was given. But the confidence in the group was destroyed by the fact that the cabinet rejected the nominations of the cross-party group. Mr Speaker, people have different views as to whether to vote or whether not to vote in the first referendum. I've heard my leader say that he basically can't be bothered, he'll consider it later. I actually have a different view, Mr Speaker. I used to think we should change the flag. I think now is an inappropriate time to do it. I am going to pick the least popular option, the one which I think is most likely to be rejected by the people of New Zealand. I will put that at number 1, and the one that's most likely to be accepted at number 4, because I think that's what I can do to reinforce the fact that this is not a time for change. And as a final point, Mr Speaker, we are yet to get from Bill English the cost of the change process if it goes forward. The cost to the Crown, 100 million, 200 million, 300 million, 400 million. How much is it going to cost the Crown? How much is it going to cost to change every crest in the country? Every government crest in the country includes a flag, and as part of the Act which says what the crest is, it says the New Zealand flag. So all the crests have to be changed, and that doesn't include private sector spending. This bill is a dog. It should be rejected. And Mr. Speaker, I know it's not going to be, and in a funny way, John Key losing is going to be fun.